Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'll give you guys a chance to come into the conversation. Welcome to Dr. Boyce TV, the home for intelligent Black people. And you guys know that every week we have Powernomics Thursday, and every week on Powernomics Thursday, we get the distinguished and wonderful opportunity to speak with Dr. Claud Anderson. Dr. Claud Anderson is the author of the books Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, The Black History Reader, Dirty Little Secrets 1 and 2. And he's one of the one of, if not the foremost authority on issues that relate to Black economics and Black political and economic strength. And I have a lot of respect for him. And so I would like to ask Dr. Anderson, first of all, how are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm improving in all respects. I can't complain. As long as I got Black folk, I feel like I'm wrapping myself in a blanket of protectiveness, warmth, and comfort. Okay.
I love it. I love it. And you, first of all, I also want to say welcome, and I want to say thank you on behalf of everybody who's watching. Dr. Anderson, they love you here. They really appreciate you because, we've learned that the educational systems have really failed our people in terms of giving us the truth. We're not really getting what we need in order to really understand how this country works. So I want to say thank you on behalf of everybody watching. Thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate fighting for Black folk and made that commitment when I was a young boy, that since the only people in this country that's been beat up on by every ethnic group, by every culture group, by every language group, by every religious group, every gender group is only Black folk. That's why I say you're the only person that's been victimized by everybody on every continent, in every nation in the world. So I made a commitment. I'm gonna try to be their protector and their advisor and manager to the best of my ability, as long as I live, Dr. Watkins, to fight for Black folks, since nobody else cares about them. They have no allies and no friends any place on the earth. They're in deep trouble, but I'm gonna do the best I can as long as I can. With you beside me, we're gonna make it.
All right. Well, everybody who's watching, I hope that you can express your appreciation for Dr. Anderson. And also, if you're watching on Facebook or anywhere else, please share this link. I see some of you watching on Instagram. Hello to everybody on Instagram, everybody on Facebook. If you could share this so that Facebook does not deboost the post. You guys know that Facebook, I don't know if you know about this, Dr. Anderson, but when they have strategies for radical Black people. They do. We found out that they do something with Facebook. They call it deboosting, where they will deliberately restrict the number of people that that get informed whenever you go live. So we have to actually fight back against the algorithm. So if you're on Facebook, if you could share this really helps us to fight the deboosting so that we can build up. Now, somebody also, Romaine is saying that the Powernomics books are sold out. Now, they're not sold out on Powernomics.com, are they?
No. We got tons of all of our books. We got tons of them. So that's a lie. I don't know who's putting that out there.
Okay, so they're not sold out. If you're trying to buy them somewhere else other than Powernomics.com, you may have an issue, but they do have copies at Powernomics.com. If you have any issue getting access to Dr. Anderson's books or anything, all you got to do is just email us and we'll find the books for you. Our email is support@theblackbusinessschool.com, support@theblackbusinessschool.com. So reach out to us. Now, please hit the thumbs up button and the share button and subscribe button as we get started. So let me, Dr. Anderson, let me start with what we were discussing.
Hey, Boyce, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
You said somebody on Facebook saying that they're going to eradicate or erase or alter or corrupt anything pertaining to Black folk. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's not so much just pertaining to Black folks, but basically Facebook and a lot of the tech companies are run by liberals who, who can be very oppressive in the way they really suppress free speech. They have the political correctness doctrine in terms of how you're supposed to talk about LGBT, how you're supposed to talk about feminism, how you're supposed to talk about immigration. And if they see that you have an opinion that is not consistent with the liberal agenda, they won't shut you down entirely, because they can't necessarily call it hate speech, although they do that a lot of times. Like if you quote Malcolm X or something like that, they'll call that hate speech. Farrakhan's been banned from Facebook because they said that he was, they claimed he was pushing hate speech, which I don't agree with. But for people like us, what they do is they will say, okay, we're not going to ban you entirely. We're just going to suppress you and make sure that the number of people who hear your point of view is minimized. So for example, on Facebook, The one page you guys are watching from, there's over 250,000 people on that page, almost 300,000 people, but they'll only notify maybe 500 people when we go live, you know, and then on my other page we have, it has about 100,000 people, almost 100,000, and they'll only notify a few hundred people. So that's what they do to try to keep certain opinions from getting out there. You know, so it's a real type of Nazi kind of situation. It's really interesting to watch it, how it happens.
Right. Well, you know, let me express this then to you, notify you. One of the things that we're now doing, you know, per our discussion when you visit Washington time, I now have my own YouTube channel now called powernuggets.com that Black folk can go on, and that'll be a thing that'll be working in partnership every week with your program, where I talk about issues like every Tuesday. So I hook with you on Thursday. We can bounce things back and forth. But I do have a powernuggets.com website up now. They can go there and they can punch in anytime and answer any of the questions that are being raised in the community about Black folk. I'll be making social commentaries every week. And that's the first thing, that it's called powernuggets.com. They can go on that. But the second thing is, Dr. Watkins, before we get into our discussion today, why don't Black folk give some serious consideration? Why can't Blacks have that? Why do we have to go through them in the first place? Why can't people like Dr. Watkins and a lot of other people, why don't we have the technical skills and engineering skills to be able to create our own Facebook, our own network, where we do not have to be approved and filtered through white folks' desires about what they want us to say? See, because white folk had this belief in the back of their head that they made back in 460 years ago, that Black people would never be any more nor any less than what we want them to be. I want Blacks to get out of that vein. Why can't Dr. Watkins and some other people in the country set up a national network where we can communicate with our white folk eavesdropping or interfering or trying to disrupt or misdirect anything we're talking about? Can that be done?
Well, you know, it can be done, and actually it is being done. It's really a matter of getting Black folks on board. We actually created a Facebook for Black people. Here's how you spell it. It's Black enough, and basically we picked that word. We created that word because it's actually similar to Black enough, and because we wanted people who were Black enough to appreciate a Black, unapologetically Black perspective. And so actually blackenough.com, I'm holding it up so you guys can spell it, and make sure you spell it right and share it, because that is the Facebook for Black people. That is where we've been gathering to get away from, to get away from Facebook. It doesn't mean that we're leaving Facebook. I told people that you can stay on Facebook if you want to, right? Just add Black enough so that you can also have another place to go, because I already know Facebook eventually they're going to ban me. They already banned Farrakhan. People like me are not too far behind. And so, because I get blocked. And what they do is they put you in what they call Facebook jail, where they'll block you for like a month. And I keep getting blocked for a month. Last time I got blocked for something that I shared 6 years ago. I put this post up 6 years ago, and it wasn't even something I said. I just shared an article, and they banned me for 30 days for something I put up 6 years ago. So I'm already planning ahead on that. And there are people out there that are building things. The question is, will Black people support it? Do Black people, are they going to actually take the action to go and sign up and join? Because you got to do that. So here's how you spell it. It's BLAGGENUF. Those of you who are in there, if you're on Facebook and you're a member, please write it in there so other people can see it. Blackenough.com. YouTube, here's how you spell it. Instagram, here's how you spell it. It is operational. It works. We have tens of thousands of people there already. We want to get millions of people, but we really need your help. So yeah, we do actually have a plan. You have to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, they're going to control everything. We've been planning for this for 10 years, really, in the sense that, like, when I first started doing what I do, Dr. Anderson, and you were the first scholar to tell me that it was okay to be radical. That's why I respect you. So I knew as a radical scholar, I was going to be seen almost like a terrorist, because I'm smarter than white people, right? So a smart Black man who ain't scared of white folks is seen like a terrorist. So we planned from the beginning on how we can position ourselves so they can't shut us down. I didn't want a TV show. I didn't want a radio show. I didn't care about any of that, because they can shut you down on a TV show. They can shut down your radio show. I like the internet because we can move around and have stuff in different places. So they can't really, it's very hard for them to shut us down with one swoop. So we have a plan in place. But we really could use you guys' support. The more you guys support, the easier it is for us to get more things done. Please type it in. Thank you, Romaine. Romaine just wrote it in here. Everybody else, it's in there, so you can find it. It's blackenough.com. So feel free to check it out. Go ahead, Dr. Anderson. I'll let you talk now.
Right. I appreciate your response, and I congratulate you for setting up that kind of an alternative structure, communication system for us. But I'm still profoundly disturbed and puzzled as to why Black folk, after 460 years, still do have nothing that's independently theirs and owned and controlled by themselves. That makes no sense to me. With 46 million Black folk, because what that suggested, there's something intellectually wrong with Black folk. If somebody is mistreated, maltreated, and bamboozled you for 460 years, why would you still be dependent on them? That makes no sense. I mean, even in the communication system in this country, we have the public airwaves, and in the public airwaves, Boyce, we got about 12,000 radio frequencies out there, and guess what? Out of that 12,000, you know what Black folk own and control? About 60 out of 12,000, which means that it's almost impossible to get together on radio. In television, we got about 5,000 frequencies that Black folk can have in television stations. We got about 2. We got about 5,000 communication system, what we call Comcast kind of stuff. What do you call that now? Networking. Anyway, networks. Huh?
You mean like cable network?
Yeah. We got that over 5,000, and I'm sorry, 12,000 of those. Black folk own none of them. We got 5,000 daily newspapers in America. Black folk don't have not one. Now, how can an oppressed, beaten up, whipped, maltreated people that's been castrated, lynched, mistreated, expused, exploited, eradicated in all respects, from lynching to the homicides by the police, why would you continue to try to operate without some kind of direct communication system that does not go through your competitors or through your enemy's hands or through their minds? I don't understand that. I want Black folk to wake up and smell the coffee. Why do you keep doing it? You should not have any problem in bringing people to your network, because saying, hey, we don't have, I mean, anybody with any sense at all would do it. If they don't do it, I'm gonna go back to what I said to you 2 months ago. Some Black need to go in business making stupid stickers. They're going back of their bumper stickers for cars, saying, I'm stuck on stupid. Because there's no way anybody that was rational in mind would keep participating and playing the same rule and same game where you can't get accurate, reliable information directly from one people to your other. If you don't have a way of communicating, you cannot organize. You cannot organize, you cannot mobilize. Nobody's that stupid. So I want some Black folk to start going in business when the new campaign starts for elections in this country, and started going in business, putting out bumper stickers or certifications where Black folk can walk around and pin it on their friends. I am stuck on stupid, because I don't participate and support anything that's Black oriented or Black supportive or in the interest of Black folk. They need to be wearing bumper stickers, certificates on their shirt or bumper stickers on their cars saying that. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've spent 60 years in national, international politics fighting for Black folk. I still can't understand why they're totally dependent on everybody. I built 2 Black radio stations in the United States. I had one in Tallahassee, Florida, and I had another one on top of the Superdome in New Orleans. I fought for Black folk. I brought the first FM station down to Florida because they would not play Black music in North Florida. They would not play Black music, and the one station that was close to Florida, I can't think of a little town, they would play a little bit of Black music once in a while. And I said, this is insane. So I went and filed an application, got a like WOWD in Tallahassee, Florida, to talk about the thing I'm doing now, where I'm gonna play music tailored to Black folk. Use my own communication system to communicate with them, say, get off your butts and do something. That drives me, pisses me off to the highest level of festivity. The Black lends people well, you can't use certain kind of words because we're controlling you, Black folk. We're gonna control what you say, when you say it, how long you're gonna say it. Nobody's that damn dumb. You back to slavery again.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. I agree. I mean, it's it's hard to fight off everything in terms of how they try to suppress and control, but we've done a decent job with it. But if you notice, most of the time when a Black person gets too Black, they shut them down. I remember guys I knew, they went to go work at Fox News or they go work at CNN. They get a little too Black. They drop them. When I was doing a lot of stuff on CNN, I got into a argument with Bill O'Reilly, and they banned me from CNN at that time. And at that time, I just learned that really, if you want to fight white supremacy, you really got to fight it on all fronts. And you can't really fight white supremacy when you're dependent upon a white supremacist system. It just don't work, you know. So, but
Dr. Boyce, hold on a second. Don't run past that point too fast. How can you say too black? How can you be too black? Why do you talk about black? You're gonna put the word TOO in front of it. How do you be too something? I don't see nobody telling white folk we're not gonna have any white folk on major stream television or radios or any kind of podcast because they're too white. What in the hell is too white? What in the hell is too Jewish? What in the hell is too Indian? What in the hell is too Asian? What in the hell is too Arab? What in the hell is too Hispanic? I don't hear that word attached to anybody but black folk. Black folk better wake up and smell the damn coffee. How wise is it gonna put two on you? You should have you should be able to express the airwaves are public entities. Everything, all these public entities right now, white folk control, as I said, almost 100% of all the radio, TVs, cable system, everything in the country. And black folks sit there and tolerate it. Why don't you hit the streets and start, you're gonna have a march? Why don't you tell these civil rights groups to march against that? Those public airways, black folk must have access to the airways. I don't care which way, how you frame it, what you call it. And right now, if you represent even 13% of the population, you should have 13% of all the damn radio stations, cable systems, television stations. Why don't you have it? And if you start talking about these private entities that are setting up these waves, whether it's Facebook or Butt View or whatever you want to call it, black folks should have 13% ownership in it. Started demanding and don't take a damn thing less. And we're way off our topic for today, but that just ticks me off, as I said, to the highest level of festivity.
Well, you know, I agree with you 100%. You know, and I think fighting for that is critically important. And I will say that what makes me proud of our network is that we reach 1 million black people a week, and there's not a white man on earth that can fire me. You know, there's nobody that can really shut us down completely because they don't even understand enough about our operation to do that. And I think that at the end of the day, you got to be strategic. You know, I'm as black as I want to be. I don't have to ask anybody for permission to say shit. And that allows me to say things that other people can't say. And I think that that's really the wave of the future in terms of us really understanding what it means to be able to fight white supremacy. You know, we are dependent on that system, and you can't really. It's hard to stand toe to toe with the white man when you need his money and his resources. I'd rather have us own whatever it is that we're a part of. You know, I think that's really.
Well, see, if they need money, that's what power numbers is about. Then go after money and quit being humble and begging. You go after money. You got a $1.3 trillion worth of money passing through your hands annually. 1.3 trillion running through your hands. That makes you about the 9th or 10th richest nation on earth. Black folk right now, in terms of annual disposable income, about the 9th or 10th richest nation on earth. That's a hell of a lot of money going through your hands. You got money, but what you got to do is say, how do you hold on to it? Before we start talking about a track, let's first start holding on to it. The first thing you do is you close your fists. You close your hands so the money quit going between your fingers. Now you're spending out at 1.3 trillion. What are you doing? You can't have any radio stations, TV stations, or cable systems because you're giving away all your money. And you're giving your money to who? The same people that are kicking your butt. Mm-hmm. You got out of that 1.3 trillion, you give 98% of it back to whites. Every day you give 98 cents out of every damn dollar that comes in your hand, you give it back to whites. Now out of the other 2%, you know what you do with that? I mean, not 98. You give back about 96, 97. You give about 1 to 2% to immigrants and other groups that got businesses in your neighborhood. The only thing you try to live off is about somewhere between 1 and 2% out of black businesses. You haven't got enough damn black businesses to even hold the money you got because you're giving it all away. Then you're talking about we don't have enough money to do anything. No, hell, you don't have any money because you keep giving all the damn money away. You've enriched everybody on earth but your damn selves. Why don't you try doing what is typically normal? Why don't you try to enrich yourself and your own people first so you can get your own networks, having the money to subsidize whatever you want to subsidize. And see if you take, because right now you're subsidizing your enemies. Whites now in this country that are controlling everything you're talking about, the radio, TV stations, and your cable system, and your Facebooks. You know why they can subsidize and control it? Because they're living off of 2 damn incomes. They're living off of 100% of your money, mean, of their money and 98% of yours. So that's why they're kicking your ass. They got 198%. You try to live off of 2%. And the reason they're going to keep it is because they're boycotting you. They're boycotting you, saying, well, if you do something about trying to help Black folk, your own people, we'll boycott your businesses. We'll boycott this. At the same time, they got McDonald's, Burger Kings, all these stores in your neighborhood sucking the money out. They're sucking you like a damn tit, like a mammary gland, and taking the money out of your community. They ain't putting a damn thing in your communities. Nobody's bringing money to your damn communities because you don't have any communities. Oh, you got a ragged ass neighborhoods. Neighborhoods are so damn bad and run down and criminalized. You run the neighborhood away, all you got are hoods now. And see, they won't play the game to win. That's what all my books are about. I told Black folk when I left the government, when I gave up being with presidents and governors and doing international trade relations. What you got to do is learn how to play the game. Build your own darn communities. Make your money and practice group economics and group politics. Make your money bounce, Dr. Watkins. Make it bounce 8 to 12 times before it leaves your hands. Keep your no damn fingers open. Keep your fists. Hold that money until it bounces 8 to 12 times, going through 8 to 12 Black people who you know in your neighborhood, got businesses. Spend your money first with them before it leaves, and practice group economics and group politics. We're not doing it. I've been screaming about this for the longest. That's the first thing you do, and that's why you got to build a wealth. The second way you get wealth is you got to learn how to start recapturing the money that was stolen from you. You didn't get paid for slavery, so you should be pushing either affirmative action, preferential treatment, or reparations, which says that the reason you haven't got wealth is because what is wealth? Wealth is nothing but labor. Wealth comes strictly from labor. Anybody else tell you something different, don't know a damn thing about economics. You cannot get wealth unless you have labor. Somebody has to exercise labor to produce it. You can't have wealth. Somebody got to pick the damn cotton, plant it, grow it. You can't have, even if you got gold or silver on your land, somebody got to go out there and dig it up. Wealth comes from labor. And right now, the reason Black folk are poor and how you're begging about getting on Facebooks or YouTube is because they've never reclaimed what white folks stole from them. What did they steal from you? They stole your labor. They stole your labor for 460 years. And if they stole your labor, you know what they did? They stole your wealth. And so when you start talking about reparations, you get McConnell, whatever his name is, talking about, we don't owe y'all anything. You're damn sure you owe us. You owe us all the labor you stole from it. You're now only controlling 100% of all the damn wealth in the country. Give us what you owe us. And what they'll tell you, well, Dr. Ellis, we can't do that because we don't have that kind of money to pay you. And where will we get it from? I don't care where you get it from. You go steal it from someone else and give it to us. Pay us for our wealth. You go steal it like you stole it from us. Well, Dr. Anderson, that slavery ended and semi-slavery ended 60 years or one ended 100 years ago. No, but the problems that you inflicted on Black folk didn't end 60 years ago or 100 years ago. They're still suffering the legacies of slavery and Jim Crow semi-slavery. And well, Dr. Anderson, the people that are slaves, they're dead. But you still giving it to Indians. Well, you've been giving it to everybody else. Blacks got to come up with answers for these things. So press and say, we got to have money. We got to have wealth. If you can't get wealth, you cannot build these things that you need. And people need Black folk, these quit sitting there saying, well, we don't have anything. So we'll go back to George Gershwin's song in 1935. We wrote this song called Porgy and Bess, where Porgy's sitting out in a Black neighborhood singing to Bess, I've got plenty of nothing, and nothing is plenty for me. Cut that crap out. If you ain't got a damn thing, you're never gonna get anything. Poor people can't help poor people. Go get some damn wealth. And the first way you get it is stop giving your money away. Whites are boycotting you. And the Asians are boycotting you. Arabs are boycotting you. Every group in this country, every ethnic group, every language group, every culture group, every political group, every cross-gender group, all of them have exploited you and taken from you. You don't have any friends or allies. If you got one friend on the earth, it's probably, and two is probably Dr. Claud Anderson and Boyce Watkins. That's it. You don't have a damn thing else to fight for. You stand up for yourself and say, we are special people. We're exceptional people. We're the only people been screwed over 460 years. You tell those liberals to go to hell. If you can't espouse something strictly and solely for Black folk to enrich them and put them into a position where they can now compete economically, don't waste your time voting. Don't waste your time pretending these damn civil rights organizations or anything else, and start holding people like the Congressional Black Caucus ass accountable. hold civil rights leaders accountable and say, quit sitting there trying to save the damn world while your own damn people perish. I'm sick and tired. I'm pissed to the highest level of pissivity.
All right, everybody. I hope you all caught that. I'm speaking with Dr. Claud Anderson. Dr. Anderson is the author of the books Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, The Black History Reader, Dirty Little Secrets 1 and 2, his website, where all his books can be purchased for your family, where you can build your own. I've told you guys to build your own school in your house. Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, those should be some of the first books that your children read. We have other things in place that you can use as well. But I want you to read those books first. So you can go to powernomics.com and take a look at everything that Dr. Anderson has to offer. He has bundle packs. It won't cost you much more than it costs you to go to see the Black Panther. When Disney put out that movie, we all gave Disney $1 billion. So all I would say is that if you're going to give $1 billion to Disney, give $1 billion to your people. You know, institutes like this, our think tanks, our leaders, our scholars, our most significant contributors should not be struggling for money just because we love our oppressors more than we love ourselves and love our community. And you know that he's doing right by you. So I hope that you'll find space to support what Dr. Anderson is doing. And another thing I want to mention to you guys before we move to the next topic is Dr. Anderson has actually initiated a Black national holiday. It is called Harvest Festival Day. Harvest Festival Day is what's the second Saturday in August. Is that correct, Dr.?
Second Saturday in August, right, Dr. Watson. Tell them from now on, every second Saturday in August, every year from now on, that's Harvest Festival Day. And that's the fall, the autumn. The reason I call it that is because once you work for something in the fall, in the season, in the agricultural community, when it comes to fall, that's harvest time. You're supposed to reap for your labor. It's time for Blacks to reap for their labor. So August the 2nd, second Saturday in August, that's the time for us to reap. We're gonna go out and celebrate, forget any other holiday. We have to have our holiday. Everybody got holidays but except us. That means by holidays, it means the time to come together and strengthen and unify and set goals and enjoy the benefits of what you produce in this country. That's why I said earlier in the sheet I sent to you, see, Jews have it. Jews call it Passover. They come together and they commiserate or they plan for what they're gonna do for the next year. That comes in the fall. We got the Irish do it. They come together. They got what's called St. Patrick's Day. They come together and proudly say, this is St. Patrick's Day. It's a special day for us. It's so special. We're gonna wear green. And we're gonna wear green and clothing and ties and flowers and everything else and talk about the Irish. Okay, that's maybe in spring. Then later on in late spring, here come the Hispanics doing the same thing. What they call it Cinco de Mayo, saying we are special people. So every 5th of every May, we're gonna celebrate Cinco de Mayo Day. 4th of July comes up next. Here comes whites, called Europeans, who all came to this country specifically to get a free ride. They didn't come here looking for no religious freedom. They came here looking for free benefits, earning income, be able to enjoy the fruits of Black labor and get free land and free Indian land and free Black labor to enrich themselves. That's called the 4th of July. That's what they're celebrating. How they locked you into slavery in 1789 to produce and be able to accommodate them. And then come in about a little bit later, you got the gays having what they call a prize, labor, what's it called, Gay Pride Day.
Pride Day, yeah.
Yeah, well, they're gonna celebrate being gay. We're celebrating coming out of the closet, and we want you to prove our having separate bathrooms, and so we can go to bed with anybody. We can go to bed with each other, with gay man and man, and woman and woman against woman. And now they even proved that they got, as I said, I made a prediction about 20 years ago that they're gonna move to bestiality. Now they're gonna do that. They got some stuff cropping up right now, as I predicted 20 years ago, that now they're gonna try to make love to the animals. They're getting that approved. And I think some in Atlanta, Georgia, people are talking about that, where people are going out now, they want, I want to marry, I want to have sex with my dog and my cat. And see, then here comes Oktoberfest, where the Germanian people in Europe, they celebrate Oktoberfest. Everybody celebrates something but Black folk. The most productive people that have been subordinated and deprived of their labor and the fruits of their labor for 460 years, deprived of all rights, wealth, land, privileges, businesses, and ownership and control of every damn thing. They don't celebrate a damn thing. They said, we're gonna celebrate Juneteenth. What's that? Because they set us free. That was an accident. They didn't, nobody, Lincoln went into setting your butt free. That was an accident you got free because the North wanted to beat the South so they can reindustrialize out West. And so I want Oktoberfest, second Saturday in every August to be for Black folk to come together and do what they never done. Come together and say, we're going to unify again and unify and build a community where we can practice group economics. And secondly, we're going to have a sense of community that will protect us. A sense of community is extremely important. Once you build a certain sense of community, Dr. Watkins, it should be a canopy, a covering. You got to build these communities and let your sense of community be a covering over it to protect it from heat, cold, storm, rain, winters, ice. But not only in this sense, it's protect you from the dominant society protruding into you, into your families, coming in your families, into your schools, into your organizations, and taking over and dominating, going in your churches and telling you, buying off your leadership to support a particular party and sell you out, or going into the family and breaking down the relationship between the Black woman and the Black man and the Black family, and to where they get confused about their sex roles, where they're going to introduce homosexuality into the damn community. And to go into the schools and make Black kids learn more about George Washington, Thomas Jefferson than they do about Carter, Carter Woodson or Malcolm X, anybody else. See, once you build that canopy and a sense of community, you stop people from overloading their trash, their garbage into your communities. Then you close that community, put a sign and say, this is our turf, this is our land, this is our home. And therefore we make the decisions about what's in here and what goes out of here.
All right. So if you want to know what day Harvest Festival Day is, it is this year, it's going to be August 10th. We're going to host a Harvest Festival Day event in Los Angeles. I'll also do an investment seminar out there that weekend. So the 10th and the 11th will be in Los Angeles. We'll put all the details at drboycelosangeles.com about the investment seminar if you want to join that on the 11th. But also on the 10th, we're looking for the right venue. And we'll do something in LA for Harvest Festival Day. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. Either way, no matter where you are in the world, we hope that you'll acknowledge it, put some things on social media, talk about it, hashtag it Harvest Festival Day, things like that, so that we can make sure that this holiday gets the support and respect it deserves. And I agree with everything Dr. Anderson is saying. The last thing I'll remind everybody is don't forget that in this space, what we believe in the Black Business School is what we call the Black Core of Three. It relates to what he was just talking about, building community. We believe that Black people should educate our own children, create our own jobs, and support Black businesses. If we do those three things, then we will prosper as a community. So that means that if you're educating your child, or at least making sure you supplement their public education with private education, then you can make sure your child learns the things they need to learn. For example, your children should not grow up knowing more about George Washington than they know about Marcus Garvey. If your child knows everything about George Washington, all the lies that they fed you about Washington, but knows nothing about one of the greatest Black men in the history of this world, then that means that child is going to be mentally backward, lost, downtrodden, damn near retarded, because it makes no sense for a Black child to know more about a slave master than they know about the person who worked to liberate Black people, right? So educate your own kids, get books in your house, books like Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth. We have financial workbooks for children. We give you all the tools. The Black Business School's right here for you. It doesn't cost you that much. We have all the tools we need. We got everything we need right now except us. That's all we ain't got is us. We got everything we need except each other. So make sure that you educate your own kids. Also, again, educate our own children, create our own jobs, support Black business. Do those three things, we'll be free. So let me move on. Hit the thumbs up button, everybody. Please hit the thumbs up button. So Dr. Anderson, let me ask you about this. You had something you wanted to say about what's going on with the Congressional Black Caucus. Now, you sent me an article in which one of the heroes of the liberal establishment, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and they have this group called the Justice Democrats that are basically going after Congressional Black Caucus members. The CBC mentioned in an article, and I have the article here, the one that you sent me. Basically, the title of the article is that Congressional Black Caucus slams Justice Democrats for targeting Black representatives. So basically, it looks like the CBC feels that members of the Justice Democrats are basically going after members of the Congressional Black Caucus, which is kind of interesting, right? Because it's you're talking about Democrats going against Democrats, but they kind of are pushing the CBC members out. And you had something you wanted to say about what was going on with that. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, thank you. And because, what I've been saying all my life in politics is being for our own people does not mean we're against anybody else. See, but they don't want you to be for your own people. We're going to start expressing our own group interests and put it first and foremost. Most of these immigrants coming in the country, most of them, about 63 to 64% of them, do not want to be affiliated, identified, associated with blacks. They've been taught when they come in this country that they're coming in here over and above black folk. They're coming to get the same benefits that all the other immigrants have been getting coming in this country. Now, in regards to the article I sent you, you got a congressman down in Texas. Okay, I think it's what's the name? I think it's Costa or whatever his name is, and also the woman Gonzalez. They're saying basically that we gotta start suppressing and pushing and replacing a lot of these congressional black caucus members because of the difference that we have with them. We are more liberal than they are. So what I've been telling black folk all my life is that increasingly, as more and more immigrants come in this country, they're going to replace you in all respects. And that's what they're talking about now. They're going to start bumping blacks out. That's why in Detroit, Michigan, as an example, where John Conyers was a black representative for a 92% black city for 47 years. And guess what? When he resigned or pulled out, guess what happened? Now they got an Arab now that took his seat in Detroit, Michigan. In a 92% black city, he's now got an Arab representing the blacks there. You go any place in this country, go down to Texas, like Jackson Lee, whatever name is down there. She's representing more Hispanics. All over the country now, these blacks are being forced to represent immigrants around their own people. And they're going to be displaced. So immigrants are going to displace blacks not only in politics, but in jobs, schooling, politics, across the board. So what I want you to do to show you the truth in my books, this book, the Powernomics, the National Plan, to show you. I predicted that was going to happen. The blacks are going to be displaced in all respects back in about 1995, 96, when I first started writing this book. So I want you to do me a favor, and I don't mean to molest your intelligence. Do me a favor, because you're very good at being able to use the technology and do this. Go to page 192 in the Powernomics book. Go to 192 in the Powernomics books. And if you have any of your listeners that got their books, the Powernomics book up, tell them to go to page 192 in Powernomics, the National Plan to Empower Black Americans. And see what I'm telling you about. When I tell you way in advance, 20 years before, what's going to happen to you, please listen and respond to it. Would you read that for me, starting on 192, where it says, know your competitors, black folk, know your competitors. Would you read that for me? I hope, if you could, please.
Sure. On page 192 in the section, know your competitors, you said that to promote its own self-interest, a group should only select for allies those who will support the group and will not benefit from its demise. There is an orchestrated effort to avoid black issues and to supplant them with Hispanics and other minorities. Now, you wrote this in the 90s, which is really interesting. In 1972, the National Hispanic Party conceived a plan to subordinate Black Americans by the year 2000 by bringing in a layer of minority ethnic groups between whites and blacks. The Hispanic empowerment strategy is to track and copy everything that Black Americans do politically and economically, then offer Hispanics as a more socially acceptable alternative to blacks. Like Asian, Arab, European, gay, handicapped, and women's organizations, Hispanic organizations do not promote a black agenda, nor do they equate black and Hispanic interests. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, please.
Hispanics and other so-called minorities are competing against blacks, whether the black overclass knows it or not. Some Hispanic groups are even more competitive and freely state their intent to totally displace blacks on the American agenda. In the spring of 1997, C-SPAN aired conference sessions for the Council of La Raza. Several speakers spoke openly and emphatically about how Hispanics would change the issues in this country from black and white to white and Hispanic. The number of Hispanics in the United States tripled between 1970 and 1990 and will surpass the black population by 2002. So you're writing this 20-something years ago. This is interesting. While Hispanics prepare to celebrate becoming this nation's majority minority population, there is little public discussion on the socioeconomic impact on Black Americans. In a society that maintains a racial hierarchy, discord can be expected as groups compete for resources, especially if one group is shackled by harmful legacies. Author Michael Lind, in his book, The Next American Nation, spoke of how Hispanics inherited affirmative action and other programs that were originally designed to help Black Americans because Black leadership failed to protest it. Lynn said, quote, "One by one, Hispanic mayors will replace Black mayors. Hispanic contractors will edge out Black contractors. Hispanic quotas in education and hiring will increase. Hispanics will demand their own congressional districts at the price, if necessary, of the destruction of Black majority districts." Lind expressed amazement that Black leaders would allow white women and ethnic minorities to replace Blacks. He wondered what Black civil rights leaders would have said in the 1960s had they known that within one generation, the primary beneficiaries of affirmative action and other civil rights initiatives would be well-to-do white women, Hispanics, and Asians. Most of these Hispanics are classified as whites and live in Mexico, Cuba, Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala for decades after the end of the civil rights movement. Yet they now displace Blacks. How do today's Black leaders justify their active role in helping women, Hispanics, Asians, and other immigrants capitalize on Black issues, then edge out and subordinate Blacks? What y'all think about that? Woo! Dr. Anderson. I was reading. I was reading. My voice got louder because I was just that's amazing. You wrote that in the 1990s. That's what everybody needs to understand. Go read Powernomics, page 192. If you have that book, read it for yourself. Read it to your family, and read it over and over again out loud so you can really process this. Dr. Anderson, I'll let you go ahead and please interpret what you wrote in the book.
Well, thank you. You did an excellent job of reading it for me, and I appreciate that. And what I was saying here is that now the Congressional Black Caucus is under pressure from Hispanics and Arabs. They're going to displace Blacks in public office, and that's what that article was about. They're now challenging Black, and here on that front cover, I'll hold it up like this. In the front cover, you see this picture up here? That's what the Congressional Black Caucus members are trying to speak back, push back against Hispanics trying to displace them. And see, on the funniest thing over here is in this corner right here, that guy Al Green. That's one of the guys that was also pushing to support gayness across the country by gay groups. And then we got to give them a month for celebrating their gayness and being proud. And that was so. Let's give him that. He passed and may file a resolution or a bill in Dallas, Texas. He's a Black congressman saying we need to declare the month of June as being Gay Month. And you see that? There he is right over in the right-hand corner, the farthest one over right there. And so now these Blacks up against the wall. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't really even give a darn about it anymore. Only a few Blacks in the Congressional Black Caucus understand the issues in this country about Black folk and are willing to do anything about it. And I go, Maxine Waters, one of the strongest ones I know there. She's always been very responsive to everything I've asked her to do for Black folk. But most of them is about as useless as tits on a bow They ain't gonna do anything for Black folk. And so I don't expect it. So I think it's that the things have turned, and now is the time for them to get burned. They've been trying to bring in all these immigrants. Now these immigrants are gonna kick their asses. And that's what I wrote about in that book. That's just on that page and a half. I predicted this way back in the 1990s, saying you're gonna get your butt kicked. They're gonna come and hunt you. So now I'm glad to see, in some respect, that they're coming after Congressional Black Caucus. They never done a damn thing for Black folk. They've been so busy trying to represent minorities and poor folk and color and trying to save the damn world that I cannot find that one single bill that they propose to save something specifically and dedicated strictly and solely to Black folk. Never. Only thing they ever talked about in the 47 years they've been in existence was talking about we got Martin Luther King's birthday, and that's all they've ever pushed. I cannot find not one instance where they filed something strictly and solely for Black folk. It's what Dr. Anderson, how about reparation on House Bill 240? That was the dumbest bill that ever been filed, talking about reparations, John Conyers Bill 240. I mean, talking about we should have white folks appoint a committee to spend 8 years studying whether or not Black folk need reparation. That's the dumbest. That takes a record. I cannot go back through history and find any one damn bill that damn dumb. Ask the people that enslaved your ass, would you study it for the next 8 years to see if you can tell us whether or not we were entitled to it? I can tell them right now, 98% of them are opposed to it. I mean, 98% of whites were opposed to it in 1860, 100 years ago. They're still, 98% are still opposed to it. Why would you ask them, well, I know you all robbed and raped us and castrated and lynched us and stole everything from us, but why don't you study for 8 years and tell us what you think? Hell, I can tell them that. They think you're a bunch of fools for asking. But anyway.
But you know, let me say that I do think that's interesting, right? It's almost like if I owe you $1,000 and you say, pay me my money, I got proof that you took my money, and I say, well, let me spend 8 years studying whether or not I owe you the money. I need to study whether or not you really need the money and whether or not the debt is valid. Give me 8 years to study it. You know, that it almost sounds like that it's a delay tactic. What do you think? Do you think that's what it is? They're just trying to get Black people to go ahead and vote now. Like, go ahead. You know what I think we need to tell them? This is what I'm gonna tell y'all this. Dr. Anderson, this is your floor. I want you to speak. But when they come and tell me they need 8 years to study whether we deserve reparations, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I need 8 years to study as to whether or not I need to vote for your ass. So 8 years, and I'm gonna study whether or not you deserve the Black vote. And we'll talk again in the year 2027, because you ain't getting shit from me until you start delivering some shit. Go ahead, Dr. Anderson, please.
You did an excellent job of summarizing. That was an excellent job. You got to study something. Yeah, I kicked your ass, but let me study and think about what I'm gonna do. It blows my cotton picking mind. I don't know what the Black leadership in this country is, whether they're just naive or they can't be that damn dumb. And because, you know, once I tried to decide when I was over education, what's the difference between an uneducated and a stupid Black person? And I said, now, there's a difference. There's a marked difference. Now, Dr. Watkins, I'm gonna explain this to you. Now, if you're running across an expressway every day at 5 o'clock and you get hit by a damn semi-trailer and knock your ass 20 feet in the air. Now, and you do that the first time you get hit, and you do it because you just didn't know any better, then you were just uneducated. But if you do it, but after you've been hit 3 or 4 times and you still keep running across that expressway, it's 5 o'clock and keep hitting by a damn truck, then you're no longer uneducated, you're just damn stupid. There's a difference between an educated and a stupid. And so and to summarize it in another sense, I was invited to speak before the Maryland delegates of elected officials 10 years ago. And I had to speak to them, and so my wife says, now you go up there and speak, don't call them stupid now. Don't you ever call Black folk, any of our Black people, don't you use that word in public that somebody's stupid. That's a bad thing for you to do. I said, what should I do? She said, what you need to do is just call them silly. So they're just silly people. And I said, okay, I remember that because I've been properly chastised by you. So I went and spoke to the delegates up there, Dr. Watkins, and I gave a speech. And so after the speech, so these are all people, Blacks who've been elected to public office in Maryland. And they came up and gave me an award. And so the woman came up, she saw with a cane, she came on the stage, she said, Dr. Anderson, we want to give you this award in recognition of the things you've done for Black folk, your commitment and your achievements and your desire to help us in all respects. And we appreciate your coming to inform us and give us some ideas about what we should do and what we should not be doing. But she said, but I gotta correct you. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, one thing you can do that you did, we're just not gonna tolerate from you. As much as we love you, we're just not gonna tolerate it publicly. I said, oh Lord, I must have done something wrong. I said, okay, what is it that I did wrong that you want me to, what you want to chew me out about? She said, look, whenever you come up here for us as state elected officials, she says, and you see something we've been doing backwards, do not call it stupid, silly. She said, if we do it backwards over and over again, we've been doing it like we have for 360 years, we are not silly, we are stupid. She said, if we are stupid, you call us stupid. Don't you ever come to me again and say, it's an embarrassment for us, for you to call us silly. When we keep saying this same damn dumb thing over and over again, coming out of our behavior and our people. So they're not silly, they're stupid. If they're stupid, you call them stupid. I said, okay, ma'am, I've been properly chastised again. I went back and told my wife, I said, look, now, don't you ever come to me and tell me it again that publicly I should not call some of our people stupid, I should call them silly. I said, because I got embarrassed twice. I said, no, I'm gonna start calling them silly, not silly anymore, but stupid. So today, I'm telling you that we got some stupid people in our race. Some of them in elected office and some are just on the street. But all of our people are not perfect. And they may not have the best education and they might be uneducated, but there's a difference between an uneducated person and a stupid person. A stupid person, uneducated, they do it out of just not knowing any better. A stupid person, one who knows better, but keeps still keep doing the same damn dumb thing. That's the difference between the two, an uneducated and a stupid person.
All right. Well, I hope you guys get what he's saying here, and I hope that everybody was taking notes and paying attention, because you're getting programming from TV. They call it TV program for a reason, because you got MSNBC on the left, you got Fox on the right, but you don't have anything that's truly black, right? Most of the media that you see is that appears to be black is either based on coonish entertainment or is corporate sponsored blackness, which makes it white supremacist. So this is black TV. You got the left, you got the right, and then you got black. So when people ask me who I'm voting for, you voting for Democrats or Republicans? I say no, I'm voting for black people, and that's what it is. So this is what we're trying to do. This is what we want to give you guys. I know you all appreciate it, and I hope that you will join me in expressing your appreciation to Dr. Claud Anderson. Just make a little comment and thank him because we are in a battle, and we need the allies that are brave enough to stand up for the community and tell the truth. So Dr. Anderson, I want to personally say thank you again as well. And I want to remind everybody, Dr. Anderson, every book that he has, everything that he does, you can find it at powernomics.com. So I hope that you and your family will go visit powernomics.com and show support. This is an important think tank. I know that the Black Business School it does everything we can to support Powernomics. You guys hear me talk about it all the time. And I hope that you guys will support powernomics.com as much as you support all the other businesses that are out here, things like that. We're not telling you to stop doing what you're doing. Just add Black power to your agenda. Add that to your personal set of actions, not just what we say and what we believe, but what we do. What we do is what matters. We got to go do things that we believe in. Okay. So the other thing too, Harvest Festival Day. It's August 10th of this year. We're going to be in Los Angeles. If you'd like to learn more, you can go to drboycelosangeles.com to find out where we'll be when we're there. And then, of course, you guys know Chicago, July 28th, drboycechicago.com. If you want to join us in Chicago. Dr. Anderson, I'll let you get the last word before we head out.
Right, thank you. And to tell them also that we're encouraging every community and across America to create their own Harvest Festival Day on that same day, which is pensive. So that every second Saturday, for them to tell every institution, every organization, every church, every business to come together and unite, bring their people together on that day to go out and bring all the kids for family outings, have a good time, but they can have recreation and excitement and knowing and getting to know each other again, participating in games and funds, or having festivities with food, whatever they want, but at the same time, have situations structured that re-educate them on the needs of Black folk, the history of Black folk, what they have produced in this country that's now been accepted and taken over by whites around the country. We have been the most productive people on earth. So when they set up those Harvest Festival days, some of it should be like maybe half should be entertainment for the family and the kids. The other half should be instructional, to teach Black folk how to start businesses and how to practice group politics as well as group economics. And they should set it up. I can't do it from national level. At the local community, they should organize little groups to get with leadership in those communities. So let's have something on that day and rope it off. When you rope it off, you really not say fuss it off, because everything of value in our society, you always rope off. I mean, if I go into Beverly Hills, if Beverly Hills has some value, they're gonna have a big fence, or they're gonna have a gate, or they're gonna have a patrol or somebody blocking it, saying you can't get into it, you can't come into here. Anything of value should be blocked off. If I go to Chinatown, you're gonna have a big pagoda, because something should signify that it's Blackness and say we are special people. This is a special community, and you're permitted to come if you want to. But you got to understand that we are coming together and uniting under our own banner of self-interest for Black people. And the last thing is, when you go to that website I talked about, like powernomics.com, also they push those buttons. One of those buttons on that powernomics.com, Dr. Watkins, could be forget the books. So they go up there, they click the one to say for books. They can order those books. And right now we got a library pack. They can find all 5 of those books and the disc, and by pushing that button on the powernomics.com and ordering the books. Or they can go down a little further on there. You'll see a thing, I think it says a website or something like that. They can click that and go to the website. Okay, that's it. Let's see. Someplace on there should show up at the top. That say something about where they can go down it and pick to the. Let's see. Harvest West. YouTube. Say go to YouTube right there, right before you get the books. They can go. That's where I'll be. That's where I can get in touch with me every Tuesday. I'll be coming up, and everything I say on those YouTube sites, they should be able to pick it up, and I'll be re-emphasizing all that stuff every week. Also on the Boyce Watkins show, and so in combination, like Laura and Hardy, you're gonna have, and you got ham and eggs. You're gonna have Anderson and then Watts.
Well, well, I love it, and I hope you guys will go take a look. Powernomics.com. That's the website. So feel free to go check that out. Also, as we talked about, Harvest Festival Day is also about learning. So one thing we're doing also at the All Black National Convention, which is in September, is we are going to have a day. Friday is going to be a day where we will have a seminar by attorney Nicole Compton on everything you need to do to get your business off the ground. She's a lawyer. She's a business startup specialist. She'll be there. It's a very popular session. I'll do a session on how to invest in the stock market. Also, if you haven't started investing, you can actually get a free training to buy your first share of stock by visiting blackmoney100.com. Just go sign up at blackmoney100.com. There's a free training. It'll take 15 minutes and you'll be investing right away. So we want you to take actions in your own family, little baby steps that'll help you move forward, help you break cycles, help you build family empires. That's what we're all about. So thank you very much, Dr. Anderson. I appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. And I'm going to go take a check and see how many of them bought that red page 192. And see if they're going to protect the Congressional Black Caucus and make them do what they should have been doing for the last 47 years, have an interest in Black folk. And if they're going to be taken over by Hispanics, they deserve to be taken over for having abandoned their own people. But tell them these books will cover everything they want to cover. And I thank you again, buddy. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. I'm glad you're back in the country.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. If you could, please give Dr. Anderson a digital round of applause. Just say thank you. Some of you were asking, how do you get in touch with me and Dr. Anderson? My email for my manager is manager@boycewatkins.com. Just know she skims the email, so be quick in terms of what it is you'd like for us to do. We get a lot of emails, but it's manager@boycewatkins.com. His website is powernomics.com. And also, I want to say thank you to Keith Baker and the King of Bakersfield. Thank you for your donations. The money will be put to good use. It will be invested in your community. So take care, everybody. Have a good day. And thanks again, Dr. Anderson. I will see
thank you.
I'll see you next week, every Thursday, Powernomics Thursday at drboycetv.com at 2:15 p.m. Eastern time. We hope that you guys will join us. We'll see you soon. Take care. All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.